The greatest lie you were ever told is that you have a choice. Psychology reveals a darker truth. Before you even took your first breath, the cards were already stacked against you. Are you born to be a loser, or did your environment engineer your failure? Stop right here. Before we go deeper into the basement of your subconscious, hit the like button. It is not for the algorithm. It is the first physical signal to your brain that you are no longer a passive observer. You are waking up. Nature is the hardware. It is the raw material your parents handed down to you like a life sentence. As the great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, a man's worth is determined by how much truth he can tolerate. And the truth is, your DNA is a blueprint of your ancestors' fears and victories. If they were prey, you carry their cortisol. If they were hunters, you carry their drive. Most people live as biological puppets, dancing to the rhythm of genetic commands they do not even understand. They say, I am just not built for success, or I do not have the talent. That is the voice of the loser using biology as a graveyard for ambition. But in the 1% community, we know that genetics are just the starting line, not the finish. Think about the sheer probability of your existence. You are the result of an unbroken chain of survivors. For thousands of years, your ancestors fought predators, survived famines, and conquered territories. That survival instinct is buried deep in your cells, waiting to be activated. But modern society has turned that fire into a flickering candle. We have traded our primal strength for the comfort of a smartphone screen and a dopamine hit from a notification. We are living in a biological paradox, genetically built for greatness, but environmentally conditioned for decay. This is the first layer of the trap. You think your laziness is a personality trait? No, it is a genetic dormant state because your environment has not demanded your survival. If you were dropped in the middle of a jungle tomorrow, your nature would wake up. But in your air-conditioned room, it stays asleep. We are lions living in zoo cages, wondering why we feel depressed. Now look at nurture, your environment. This is the software, and most of yours is outdated, toxic malware. From the school system that taught you to be a compliant employee to the friends who mock your dreams, you are being socially engineered to stay small. Charles Bukowski once wrote, "The masses are always wrong. They are a trap." Your environment wants you to be safe, average, and predictable. If you are the smartest person in your room, you are in a cage. Your potential is being smothered by the comfort trap of your surroundings. Your brain is a supercomputer, but you are running an old operating system installed by people who were too afraid to chase their own shadows. They told you to play it safe. They told you to wait your turn. They nurtured the sheep in you while starving the wolf. If you feel your soul vibrating with this truth, you belong with us. We are building a community of 100,000 elite minds, architects who refuse to be victims of their past. Subscribe right now and join this circle. We are not here for entertainment. We are here for accountability. By clicking that button, you are declaring that you are ready to be part of the 1% who masters the mind before it is mastered by the masses. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, who believed that our life is what our thoughts make it. Modern science now calls this epigenetics. This is the revolutionary proof that your environment and actions can literally turn genes on or off. You are not a prisoner of your DNA. You are its commander. You can silence the genes of weakness and activate the genes of dominance through sheer discipline, cold showers, intense focus, and the refusal to be average. You are not a static object. You are a biological work in progress. You can overwrite the loser code. You are the chemist of your own brain. When you choose struggle over comfort, you are sending a chemical signal to your DNA that says, this body belongs to a warrior. This is not motivation. This is molecular biology. Carl Jung warned us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Most people call their genetic predispositions fate. They say, I have always been shy, or I have always been poor. The architect calls them data points. You must face your shadow, the parts of your nature that are aggressive, hungry, and even dark, and weaponize them. If you do not acknowledge your capacity for destruction, you can never truly build anything of value. Use the anger of your environment to fuel your late-night sessions. Use the rejection you faced in high school as the nuclear reactor that powers your 18-hour workdays. The world wants you to be nice and balanced, but balance never built empires. Pure obsession did. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is the engine that the 99% are too afraid to start. Most people are like lab rats in a maze, thinking they are exploring, when they are actually just following the scent of cheese placed there by the system. They are nurtured to be consumers, not creators. They are nurtured to be agreeable rather than effective. This social engineering is so deep that you think your thoughts are your own. But are they? Or are they just echoes of the last 5 people you spoke to? The 1% understands that nurture is a tool. We choose our environment. We curate our circles. We burn down the old neighborhoods of our minds to build cathedrals of power. We are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. If those 5 people are complaining about the economy, you will become a victim of the economy. If those 5 people are building empires, you will build an empire by default. Your circle is either a lift or a weight. Choose wisely. Look at the people around you. Are they charging your battery or draining it? If your environment is filled with people who prioritize the weekend over the legacy, your nurture is a slow-acting poison. You cannot become a lion while living among sheep. To change your nature, you must first annihilate your current nurture. You must become a stranger to those who knew the old you. You must be willing to be the villain in their story, so you can be the hero in your own. This is the price of entry into the 1%. Most are too afraid to pay it. They want the crown, but they are afraid of the isolation that comes with the throne. The struggle is not just external, it is a war within your cells. Every time you resist a craving, every time you choose pain over pleasure, you are physically rewiring your brain. This is neuroplasticity, the architect's ultimate weapon. Your brain is like clay. If you let your environment mold it, you will become a brick in their wall. If you mold it yourself, you become the masterpiece. But this requires a level of honesty that most people find terrifying. You have to admit that you are the one holding the keys to your own prison. You must stop blaming the anger from your father. You must stop blaming the anxiety from your mother. You have to take the raw, broken pieces of your nature and the toxic debris of your nurture and build something that the world has never seen. Stop waiting for a rescue team. You are the rescue team. Nature provides the gun, nurture provides the target, but you pull the trigger. You are the programmer. If you do not write your own code, a billionaire, a politician, or a marketing algorithm will write it for you. They want you distracted. They want you debating genetics while they collect your data. They want you to believe that your personality is fixed so they can predict your next purchase. This is why we hold each other accountable here. If you are one of the few who actually implements what they learn, comment Codebreaker below. It is time to show this community that you are taking the wheel. We must also talk about the genetic default. If your genetics made you prone to addiction, you have 2 choices: become a slave to a substance, or become addicted to the process of winning. If your nature made you aggressive, you can either end up in a cell or at the top of a corporate ladder. The 1% does not try to fix their nature. They redirect it. They understand that every defect is just misdirected energy. A waterfall can either drown you or power a city. It is the same water. The only difference is the engineering. Are you engineering your energy, or are you just letting it flood your life? Most people drown in their own potential because they never built the dam. The clock is ticking on your biological potential. Every day you spend in the wait-and-see mode, your neuroplasticity hardens. Your brain becomes a fossil of your excuses. Share this video with one person who is currently drowning in their own comfort. Sometimes leadership means waking others up before the simulation consumes them. This is not just a video. It is a transmission for the 100,000 elite minds we are gathering. Subscribe, like, and share. Not for the numbers, but for the movement. We are not victims of our birth. We are not products of our neighborhood. We are the sum of our decisions made in the face of our limitations. Nietzsche also said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." What is your why? Is it strong enough to override your nature? Is it loud enough to drown out your nurture? If not, you are still sleeping. It is time to wake up. It is time to realize that the cage door has been open this entire time. You were just too afraid of the freedom outside. You were born in a biological prison, and you were raised in a psychological one. But the keys are in your hand. Your legacy is not what you were given. It is what you did with what you were given. The 1% understands that the ultimate flex is not having good genetics. It is taking bad genetics and building a God-tier life anyway. It is not having a perfect childhood. It is overcoming a traumatic one to become a pillar of strength. This is the path of the architect. This is why we gather here. This is why we push. We do not want sympathy. We want results. We do not want excuses. We want execution. Look at your life as a laboratory. Test your limits. Audit your circle every 30 days. If someone is not helping you build the cathedral, they are helping you stay in the hut. The world is designed to keep you at 40% capacity. They call it work-life balance. We call it mediocrity safety. To break the 11-minute mark of this video is easy. To break the 11-year cycle of your conditioning is the real work. Are you a code breaker, or are you just another line of text in their script? The mission is simple but brutal. Reclaim your biology, audit your environment, execute your vision. Do not just watch. Execute. Do not just listen. Transform, master your nature, engineer your nurture. Be the architect. The mission continues.